Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Depending on when you're watching this video, my name is Sylvester Ebhonu, the host uh, and producer of the Librarian Spotlight Africa program. And today is the 27th of September 2025. And I'm glad to be bringing you this special edition. On today's edition, we have a great scholar who's currently behind stage right now. And I know everyone who is joining us right now has been looking forward to this day. A great opportunity to interact with our librarian of the month. So at this point, I would like to say, let's guess who our librarian of the month is. Guess who our librarian of the month for September 2025. All right, let's see who guesses right. Who guesses right? Put your comment in the comment section. Let us know who you think this person is. Meanwhile, I see that some people are joining from LinkedIn, others are joining from YouTube. Just type in the comment section, tell us your name and where you're watching from so we can recognize you in this meeting today. Please tell us your name and where you're watching from. I just introduced myself that I'm Sylvester of the Librarian Spotlight Africa, and I'm happy to be with you this evening for a very intellectual and engaging conversation with our librarian of the month. Our librarian of the month is Professor Tella Adeyinka. Professor Tella Adeyinka. So I know that's why we're tonight. He's going to be sharing with us great insight into the world of academia, about his career, about his life, and hopefully library and information professionals who watch this edition today will be inspired by Prof's viewpoint. So without much further ado, I would like to inform us what we see now on the screen is our program for today. Let me make it bigger for us to see. Our program for today is what we see on the screen. In the next 2 minutes, I'll wrap up this and then we will introduce Professor Tella because he's backstage and we can't wait to have him on this interview. So immediately I'm done with recognizing you. Those of you who are here right now, please type in your name in the comment section to let me know you're here. Once we are done with that, we will introduce the librarian of the month and we will kick off the interview. Towards the end of this event, we have someone who is here to give Professor Tella a surprise. Someone that will help us present the recognition as librarian of the month to Professor Tella. That person will be a surprise guest, and once we are done with the interview, the person will do that. So once again, I want to say welcome. And right now, I would like to go into the next activity of the event. Before this program is over, we are going to post a link where you can give a review and feedback about what we do in the Librarian Spotlight. Also, if you know any librarian that you think is deserving to be spotlighted in the Librarian Spotlight Africa, please fill the form and nominate such librarians in any part of Africa. Thank you so much. So at this point, I'll come back now and recognize our colleagues who are here. I see Merit. Merit Onozie says, good evening. Good evening, Merit. I also see Madam Folashade Adepoju. She's working from Abuja. Thank you very much, Madam Folashade. I also see Dr. Genevieve Opara. Dr. Genevieve says Professor Tella. I think she was giving a guess, and you guessed right. Thank you so much. So at this point, I'm going to welcome Professor Tella And then we're going to play a short documentary that introduces who Professor Tella Adeyinka is, his career, his early days, his early career, and everything you need to know about him. But before we do that, I'll bring him up to just say hi to everyone. Um, Good evening, Prof. And how are you today?
Good evening, Sylvester. I'm very fine. I'm very happy and delighted to be here.
Okay.
I want to say good evening to every Spotlight Africa. It
Okay.
is my
Thank
pleasure
you,
to be with you
everyone.
here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We've
Yes,
all
sir.
been anticipating for this day. We've all been anticipating for this day. And Madam Folorunsho Adenike is here. He says, "Good to be here." And other people, just immediately you join, just type in your name, let us know you're here, and then we'll just spotlight you on the screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd give me a moment, I would like to formally introduce to us Professor Taylor through this documentary, which was produced by one of our team members, Victoria. She's the head of content creation at Librarian Spotlight Africa. And the next voice you'll be hearing will be her voice.
This September, Librarian Spotlight Africa shines on Professor Adeyinka Tella, a renowned Nigerian scholar and academic leader with over 200 scholarly works and groundbreaking contributions in ICT for development, information literacy, and e-learning.
Professor Tella began his educational journey at St. Andrew College of Education, Oyo State, Nigeria, where he earned a national certificate in education in 1992. He continued at the University of Ibadan, earning a bachelor's degree in guidance and counseling, political science with second-class honor upper division. After his national youth service in Zamfara State, he pursued postgraduate studies at the University of Ibadan, completing a master's in counseling psychology, followed by a master's in library and information studies in 2004. He later embarked on a PhD in test, measurement, and evaluation, but paused when he received the Commonwealth Scholarship to study library and information science at the University of Botswana, completing his doctoral degree in 2009. Professor Tella is the immediate past head and professor in the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Ilorin, where he also served as sub-dean of the Faculty of Communication and Information Science from 2012 to 2015. He also served as chairman of the Nigerian Library Association, Kwara State Branch, and vice chairman of the Nigerian Association of Library and Information Science Educators. He is on the editorial boards of top journals including Library Philosophy and Practice, USA, Journal of University Research, Turkey, African Regional Journal of Information and Knowledge Management, Kenya, and the Zambia Journal of Library and Information Science. With over 200 academic publications, his research spans ICT for development, e-learning, and information literacy. His work has earned him recognition, including a 2007 Coursera Small Grant for PhD thesis writing. Professor Tella is a research fellow and distinguished professor at the University of South Africa, Pretoria, and in 2022 he was rated a C2 researcher by the South African National Research Foundation. He has also achieved global recognition, being ranked 28th scientist in Nigeria and first in his university by Webometrics, Web of Science, and Google in 2015. And today is rated the most cited library and information science scholar in Africa by AD Scientists.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in celebrating Professor Adeyinka Tella, his outstanding contribution and lifelong commitment to advancing LIS education. Make him a truly deserving honoree. Cheers to our Librarian of the Month for September 2025, Professor Tella Adeyinka.
Wow. Before it's
Hello, Prof. Are you there? Can you hear me,
yes,
Prof?
yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were not hearing me. I was just giving a round of
Thank
applause
you very much.
for that wonderful.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
You inspire a lot of people, and they are all here right now. I see Ramatu. Ramatu is joining from Kaduna. Victoria is also here watching live, and there are other librarians here. Everyone is really, we are really glad about the impact and contributions you've made to librarianship.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Prof,
Yes, sir.
thank you. So I have a question for you
Okay.
to start.
Okay.
The question is not actually about you per se,
Okay.
um, but I would like to say that you reflect who a true researcher is and should be.
Yeah.
And like I've been saying, many scholars look up to you.
Mm.
Getting to this stage didn't come by making up data or using AI to write an entire article like we see many people do today. So this makes me want to first find out from your viewpoint, what is research, right? I mean, beyond definitions, what makes research authentic and meaningful, especially in the era where many say that if you do not publish, you will perish. So this is my first question to you, Prof.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sylvester. It's a very nice question to start with. And
Yeah.
by answering it, there is no way I will not thought you say beyond definition. Of course, I will start with that definition because it's very, very important, upon which I'm going to build the remaining answers. Okay. So research describes
Yes, sir.
systematic, orderly, organized, and consistent pattern of thinking that gives structures to our investigators' knowledge. So that is it. So if you look at that definition that I've given, there are some watchwords there. It describes organized. That is to say that as a researcher, you must be organized. As a researcher, you must be consistent. As a researcher, you must be systematic. So all of this must be your watchwords in the process of conducting your research. Now, going to the question per se, research become authentic and meaningful when it seeks to generate truth, when it seeks to solve problems or advance knowledge with integrity. So beyond publishing for survival, it requires rigor, it requires originality, it requires ethical responsibility, and it requires relevant contribution of knowledge that matters to society, to community, or to discipline. Not just adding to academic follow, but you must contribute something, either to society,
Exactly.
to your community, or to your discipline where you specialize. It is not just about adding to already existing academic volume. No, it is more than that, and it goes beyond that. Thank you very much.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much for that wonderful background. So let me go a little deep into this because I wanted to take the approach of learning from you first
Okay.
before we talk a little about your career.
Okay, no problem.
Also, there are many scholars who chase publications without a clear research identity. Now, when I did a little search about you, I noticed that your publications were around a particular area, specialization, areas of interest. So, how should one move from just writing papers to carving a niche in specific areas of research and, I mean, solving problems that advances knowledge in a particular area? So, by this, I'm trying to ask what worked for you, especially in your early days till now, and is it better for them to major deep in one area or spread wide across many areas of library and information science, for example?
Thank you. It's another very important, and I will answer it by pointing to five major issues. One, many scholars initially chase publications for feasibility, but building a strong research identity requires deliberate focus. That is one. Secondly, moving from writing papers to carving a niche means identify enduring questions that resonate with personal passion, societal needs, and disciplinary gaps. So, meaning that it is very, very important for you as a researcher that want to launch yourself, into the research arena to first identify
Mhm.
enduring questions. Those questions are the questions that resonate around passion, solving societal problem to make sure that the societal problem that you want to align with societal needs, and at the same time bridging the gaps that you have identified in your discipline. That is the second point. And thirdly, what worked for me
Okay.
is more than you know what worked for me was immersing deeply in one thematic area, just like you have identified that my publication revolve around a particular area, while remaining open
Mhm.
to interdisciplinary influences that enrich my perspective. So major depths of my research provide authority and recognition while spreading wide risk fragmentation. However, strategic breadth, exploring adjacent areas connected to that niche area, can strengthen impact. And lastly, of course, it is ultimate that there is need for clarity of purpose. There is need for consistency. Of course, in the definition of research I gave, one of the watchword I pointed to is consistency. So consistency
Exactly.
is the key here, and problem
Mm,
solving relevance to advance knowledge
mm,
more than just sheer publication numbers. So that is very, very
mm.
important. There is need for clarity of purpose. There is need for consistency.
Yeah,
There is need for problem solving relevance to advance knowledge
yeah,
more than sharing publication numbers. Thank you very much.
yes. Wow. So everyone who is out there, you are in the you are in academia, you are into research. Prof has explained, pointing out five key issues that is stressing on why you should endeavor to major deep in a particular area and also make it a good blend with by being multidisciplinary also. So the last question I'm going to be asking you about this academia is this. So I would like to know, Prof, from your perspective,
Okay.
where is the line? Because sometimes they used to say there's a thin line, but I don't know how thin that line is right now
Okay.
between the use of artificial intelligence and compromising academic integrity, because that line is getting blurrier these
Okay.
days. A lot of people do not know what's next. What's the true role of scholars? Should it um, I mean, we don't know what the true role of scholars should be in the research process, since AI can now write, AI can summarize, AI can analyze. So I don't know. What do you have to say about
Yes,
this?
another very important and trending question, and I want all our listeners and viewers at home to listen and listen carefully here. The line between leveraging AI and compromising academic integrity lies in two things. One, intent, that is your intention as the researcher, and then two, transparency. So it is very, very important, okay, for us to note that. And two, AI should be used as a supportive tool to accelerate literature search, improve clarity, or undo routine analysis. Why the scholar that is you, remains the intellectual driver. You are the one that should drive AI, not AI driving
Wow.
you. If
Driving you, exactly.
AI is driving you, it means you are not the one providing the knowledge, but rather the AI. So, but you must be the driver. It is only when you are the driver that you are contributing something new to knowledge, from your human perspective and not from machine perspective. And again, academic integrity is compromised when AI outputs
Yeah.
replace original thought.
Yeah.
That is to say, when everything
Yeah.
you do is AI you use to generate the entire content. Okay, so there is
Mm-hmm.
nothing
Yeah.
originality in that because the entire thought is from AI. So there should be
Mm-hmm.
critical analysis or ethical responsibility, without acknowledgement.
Wow.
So if you engage in that without acknowledging the fact that it's AI you use to generate the content, it means you are compromising the
Yes.
standard. Okay, so as scholars,
Exactly.
you must
Exactly.
frame the
Mm-hmm.
questions, you must interpret the findings, you must contextualize the
Mm-hmm.
results and ensure rigor.
Mm-hmm.
It's you that must do that and not AI. So the role
Exactly.
of you as a researcher is not just to produce tests, but rather to have advanced understanding with creativity, judgment, and integrity.
Beautiful.
However, we should
Beautiful.
note the fact that AI can assist the process, but it cannot replace
Yes.
human scholarship. That is the fact. AI
Wow.
can only assist the process, but it cannot
Mm.
replace human scholarship. That is very, very important.
Thank you so much. Merit and Victoria, are you taking these notes down? AI can assist the process, it cannot replace scholarship. There are so many nuggets coming into my head right now, and I really hope that we are drawing from the wealth of experience and scholarship of Professor Adeyinka. Thank you so much,
Thank
Prof.
you, Sylvester.
Can we now talk a little about you, Prof? Can we talk about you?
All right, no
You've had an
problem. I'm
extraordinary
here.
academic
Yes,
journey, beginning from your
yes.
education in Nigeria to your experience in Botswana. Now you are serving as HOD. So, can you share with us what motivated your path into librarianship and academia?
Thank you very much. When I was young, I had that passion, you know, of teaching, being in the midst of my colleagues, teaching them what they don't know, particularly whatever we were taught in class that is not clear to them. They always beckon on me to teach them, and I always, do that, gladly. So with that, I can see myself, going places as far as teaching at the higher level, not even at the elementary level, at the higher level. It's concerned. Of course,
Wow.
I've engaged in a type of complete metamorphosis because I have taught at the kindergarten, I've taught at the primary school, I've taught at secondary school, I've taught at college of education level, and then before university.
Wow.
So, what motivated my path into librarianship? I was rounding off my first master degree program in UI, and my brother, who was on the PhD program then, in one evening, raised an issue that led to brainstorming and discussion between me and him. And the issue was about the revolution of ICT and the internet. So when we were rounding and concluding the discussion, he asked me a very pertinent question. He said, based on what we have discussed, don't you think a running for another master's degree in information studies will be a good thing for you? That was the question he put across to me. And for good 3 days, I was just ruminating over that question. And on the fourth day,
Mm.
I came out bluntly to say that, bros, I think I will enroll myself for another master's in information studies.
That's the great.
So that was how I got the form after completing the first master degree in counseling psychology in 2001. So 2002 academic session, I enrolled myself for a master degree in library and information studies at the University of Ibadan. So that was how my career started. in, you know, library and information studies.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful.
And of course,
Okay.
let me
You
quickly
know.
add to that. You know,
Okay.
when I
Okay.
completed that first master's, okay, I was to
Yeah.
proceed. I was to proceed to PhD straight away in that discipline. But the HOD then, you happen to be a principal professor. He said anyone that is not lecturing either in polytechnic or colleges of education will not be enrolled for a PhD in that program. So that
Mm.
also buttressed my swapping to information studies to do the masters. So immediately I finished, those lecturers who love me so much, they just came around me to say that now that you have completed your masters in library and information studies, we want you back in that department to come and commence your PhD. So that was why I go back
Mm.
again. I started. That was the reason why in my profile it reflected there that I started a
Yes.
PhD measurement and evaluation. Of course, I got to the stage of presenting my proposal when the result of Commonwealth Scholarship, which I applied for through the MILS that I did, came. So, and I was successful. And all of them again advised that, yes, this one is going to be sponsored, everything. So please leave this program and go and honor this Commonwealth Scholarship to study PAD, in library and information studies. So that was all.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so Prof,
Thank you.
if you could watch your screen right now, there's a visual
Yes.
showing on your screen. I think this was an
Okay.
announcement of you being the most published. Is it the most published scholar at University of Ilorin? Is that the occasion?
No, no, no. It's not the most published scholar. This one is the best researcher of the year. That was October 23, 2003.
Wow.
The best researcher of the year. At the
Wow.
University of Ilorin here,
Wow.
the university do encourage researchers,
Yeah.
okay, by giving them
Yeah.
a car.
Yeah.
It's a car, it's a Camry car that was awarded to me,
Amazing.
as you can see in the screen. And there is
Amazing.
stringent condition before you can emerge. Stringent condition before you. Of course, let me tell you this. I have been applying for this thing since 2012. Okay, since 2012 I have been applying for this.
Yeah.
It's either I came second, came third, came second, came third, came second, came third, but I keep
Amazing.
pushing because one of my professors encouraged me that you can win, just keep at, keep applying, keep applying, one day you will win it. I'm very, very sure that you will win it. And it came to my turn in the year
Wow.
2023. Of course, so many applications were submitted, but nobody matched what I presented because I have won
Wow.
grants locally and internationally. I have published papers. I had recognitions, in so many universities abroad, like 12 or 15. University recognizing me
Wow.
and giving me the evidence of the recognition. So all of these are the conditions that you must provide before you can win. And nobody matched that particular application. So as a result, I was awarded the winner. That is the VC,
Wow.
that short man in, sky
Yes.
blue suit. That is my VC. And the
Yes.
DVC
Yes.
the
Yes.
VC admin who happened to be the chairman
Yes.
of that committee that we, nominate the winner. Is the one in uh,
Yes. I have one question about
okay,
this.
okay.
Now, listening to you narrate this whole experience
Yes.
and also knowing that you have published over 200 scholarly works, Prof,
Okay.
and received several awards, not just this car.
Hmm.
I would like to know, many people just see the surface level of success and they
Okay.
think there's nothing to it.
Okay.
What sacrifices, apart from the few that you've mentioned now,
Yes.
and commitments did you have to make to get to this stage?
Hmm.
Because you said there were stringent conditions.
Conditions.
Now, 200
Hmm.
publications. What were those sacrifices, Prof?
Thank you very much. Another very good and beautiful question. And all I can say is that I don't involve myself in anything unprofitable. I don't involve myself in it. Anything that will not profit me, I won't waste my time on it. I don't have time to adjust to attend just any gathering or just any party, just any invitation. When you are inviting me, you must invite me for a purpose. and I will look at that purpose as something
Exactly.
that will impact my life before I can, attend. I don't pursue or indulge in the pursuance of frivolous acts like gossiping, laughing at people. Of course, I don't laugh at people, but I laugh with people. Because in the process of laughing with people, I make out something, from it that can constitute another research ideas to me. I hope you are
Wow.
following me. So I also
Yes, Prof.
invest my time and energy only on things that matters. So meaning that anything that doesn't matter, I don't, hesitate to waste my time on it at all. So I am an educator and scholar to the core, unlike other, political academics whose major aim is just to target positions here and there.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
believe in
Wow.
position. I
That's
believe
amazing.
that when I work, position will come. People will
Mm,
recognize me and say that,
that's
okay,
true.
you are the one we are appointing for this position, not me lobbying for positions here and there. I don't do it.
Exactly.
I don't do
Exactly.
it. So,
Wow. Wow.
what
Thank you so
sacrifices
much.
and commitment? Yes, I committed myself to my aim and target. And what is my
Mm,
aim? What is my target? My target is to become a renowned, reputable, and established and a force to reckon with and respected in my discipline in Africa and beyond. Not even in Nigeria,
yes.
but in Africa and beyond. And I can boldly say as we speak, just like you have a network, I also have a network in Africa,
Wow. Wow.
which is titled the Likes Mind Info Research, organization,
Wow. Like wow. Wow.
the Likes Mind Info Research
Organization.
Organization of Africa.
Okay.
And I have, colleagues. Of course, I begin to mention in Kenya, I have Professor Tom Kwanya. In South Africa, honestly, I have so many of them. Professor Buseri Oyata, Professor Nko Waki,
Amazing.
in Zimbabwe, I have Peter Sindewa. In Zambia, I have Tuesday Buaya, Akakadewa, and then the rest of them. In Botswana, I have Sepo
Mm,
Museu. In Tanzania, I have Jackson Iwata. I have Obet Utute from Uganda, and almost in all African countries,
mm,
I have one link or the other. They are my research
yeah.
associates. And that is the reason why you see me traveling out of
Mm,
Nigeria to Kenya, to Zambia, to South Africa, to Botswana. It's just to meet with this, my research associates,
amazing.
to do one thing or the other as
Amazing.
far as research is
Thank you
concerned.
so much, Prof.
And with free sponsorship.
Yes.
Free sponsorship.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Prof. Now, Prof,
You're welcome.
I really would like our viewers to learn about this. How do you ensure that your work doesn't end up in journals? You know, many people publish and the works end up in journals or in library shelves. Now, how shouldn't these works influence teaching, influence policies? Shouldn't isn't that what you said research is about impact? After writing and publishing, how should scholars think about impact of their publication? How should they do this?
Yeah. To answer this question, I have the following, and I want you to pay attention.
Okay.
Ensuring research impact requires going beyond publication to translation and engagement. So as scholars, we should distill findings into accessible formats, policy briefs, infographics, blogs, or workshops that reach practitioners, that reach educators, that reach decision makers, because these are the people that will make use of what you are producing. Okay, it is only when they make use of what you are producing that your research is having impact.
Mm,
If you are doing it and it doesn't get to the hand of these, practitioners, you are not doing anything.
mm,
So, two, embedding research insight into teaching and curricula ensure knowledge transfer to future professionals. You see, embedding research insight into teaching curricula ensure that knowledge is transferred to future
future.
professionals. That is another thing we need to note. Then thirdly, collaborating with policymakers, collaborating with libraries, collaborating with non-governmental organizations or industry partners,
Mm,
bridges academia and practice.
mm,
And that is the key. you are not just conducting the research all alone. You need to collaborate.
Mhm.
And who are you collaborating, or who should you collaborate with?
Mhm.
Collaborate with policymakers,
Exactly.
collaborate with libraries, collaborate with non-governmental organizations, collaborate with industries, you know, partners in industry. It is only through that we can bridge, the academia and then the practice. Then public scholarship through conferences, media, podcasts, and community forums broaden influence. Of course, if you are an academic and in a year you don't have any conference to attend, maybe locally or internationally,
Mhm.
you are not doing anything.
Mhm.
It is important for you to, for me now, it is mandated that, I get out of this country at least thrice per year to meet with friends in conferences. All right. And, not only that, in media, in podcast, in community forum, you meet with people, and that broaden your influence over your community and over your society. It's only when you are doing that that you are contributing something to knowledge.
Wow.
Again, we should note that impact also grows through sustained networks and interdisciplinary partnership where evidence informs real-world solution. So, network is key. You are having one now.
Yeah.
You are having with that work now. You are impacting the life of in our discipline, and that is how it should be. If you are a real
Yes, sir.
academic, impacting
Yes.
the life of people, networks is very, very important. Okay,
Yes,
you
sir.
network interdisciplinarily, partnership
Mm.
partners with people in other discipline. Okay,
Mhm.
and that will
Yes, sir.
show evidence and inform your real world solution. And ultimately, impact means asking who need this knowledge. It is very, very important you always ask yourself that the knowledge
Yeah.
that you are producing, who needs it. Okay,
Exactly.
you have identified those who need it. In what format do they need it? You have to identify the
Mhm.
format, because it is the format they need it you give to them. If you give it to them in another format, it may not be useful to them. And how
Yes.
will it improve system? It is very, very important that you ask yourself, how will it improve system? How will it
Yes.
improve learning? How will it improve lives? Okay, if
Wow.
all of
Wow.
it is there,
Amazing.
yes,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you will be able to, beat your chest to say that you
Yeah.
have influenced cheating, you have influencing policy, and then you are influencing practice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not going to stress this point you have made further from here. You have hit the nail. It's enough of publications and not thinking about impact. Everyone who's here right now, you've heard Prof giving clear, focused guidelines on what we should do with our various publications. But Prof, I would like to ask you a question that, because I would like to come into the department and
Okay, very good.
what you do as a lecturer, as a teacher. But before that, I came across a publication today by Professor Obiora about
Okay,
appraisal of librarians
okay,
in, yeah, librarians, the dual appointment thing where you have librarian one, lecturer two, lecturer librarian two. Prof, I
okay,
would like to find that academic librarians who teach in classrooms, are they any different from those who work in libraries? I don't know what's your take on a subject matter like this, because there seem to be a lot of inconsistencies in many institutions about librarians and lecturers and all that.
okay. Thank you very much. It's a very good question. If in the true sense of it, we practice what we're supposed to practice, honestly, there shouldn't be any difference.
Yeah.
Librarian one should be lecturer one. That is
Okay.
in the real sense of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Senior librarian or whatever, or principal librarian should be senior lecturer.
Yes.
But in the real sense of it, in the other way around in Nigeria, the pertinent question is it really true? Is it really true that a senior lecturer in the department is comparable to a principal librarian in the library?
Okay.
The answer, based on my own perspective and
Perspective.
understanding, the answer is no.
Okay.
Honestly, it's no. And why did I come to this conclusion? I've attended so many conferences, in library and information science conferences. I've attended so many NLA conferences.
Yes,
I
sir.
do meet with librarians, academic librarians from the library, and lecturers in the department.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, I will just, systematically and indirectly just pose a question to some people when they tell me that they are holding a PhD and they are this, they are that in their library. And by the time they react, I always ask myself question: does this person has a PhD that is claiming to have? So in the
Mm.
recess of it, except if you want to deceive ourselves, the gap is there.
Okay.
The
Yes.
gap is there. The question
Okay.
that we should ask again is, the academic librarian, are they publishing where the academic lecturers in the department publish? Are you with me?
Okay.
Of course, it's part of what I will talk
I
about
get that.
if you ask me the question. Where are they publishing? Where are the
Okay.
lecturers in the department publishing? Is there any alignment
Yeah.
where they publish?
Okay.
You see most of our colleagues in the library where they publish LPP, Library Philosophy and Practice. Of course, interestingly,
Yeah.
I'm one of the editorial board member of that journal, because I published a very solid
Wow.
paper there in 2006. And it was on that note that the editor-in-chief, Professor Mary K. Bolin, a good friend of mine from University of Nebraska, Lincoln in the US, invited me to join the editorial board. Because after publishing that paper, my paper underwent rigorous review, and I was happy with what
Wow.
I got. But 2 years after that publication, I went back to the website of that journal. I saw rubbish, and I was able to identify
LPP.
10 quickly on the spot. I wrote
Oh, oh my
extensively
goodness.
on those 10 papers that I identified. Mary K. Bowling, professor, look at all of these. Are these class notes or research papers? Eh? So the woman now confessed
Wow.
to me there is nobody working with her. It's only one Indian man that is assisting. And anything she pulls to that Indian man, the Indian man will just upload without any addition, without any removal, without anything, without any assessment, any review. The Indian man will just upload. And that has been the practice. If you have been watching, LPP, beginning from 2000
Oh,
it's back to the sender. Whatever you
oh
give,
my
they
goodness.
upload. And that is the way our people are publishing, and they will be boasting they are this, they are that. So
Oh my goodness.
just like it's a sensitive issue.
Prof,
Yes.
Prof, I don't know if I can come in here. I think Dr. Adebayo John, this must be one of your main prodigies.
Okay.
Adebayo is saying, Prof, you are really shaking the table, and and Madam Folashade is saying that, Prof, you have broken the table.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that, but that is the truth must be told anyway. Of course, that is the truth. It must
Yes.
be told. Yeah.
Yes. However, John Adebayo is saying that LPP has been removed from Scopus. They were
Yes,
like when
it has been
you rightly
dropped.
said, while you were with
Yes,
them, it
Sylvester,
was the standard has dropped.
I had the woman. Yes, I advised the woman, but the woman didn't take to my advice. And what happened? And I want to tell you this secret. If you have been
Yeah.
reading research methodology test, there is one J.W. Creswell, very renowned
Wow.
methodologist. He's a very renowned research methodologist. He's from Lincoln University. Okay? And
Wow.
that journal is from Lincoln
Yes.
University. That journal remaining in Scopus till 2021, it was removed, is because of the influence of Creswell. Are you with me? Okay?
Yes,
But that
sir.
thing now is more than what Creswell can bear. So as a result of it, the thing was delisted from Scopus. Of course, it was delisted from ranking. Initially, it was Q2. It dropped from Q2 to Q3, from Q3 to Q4. Then from Q4, it was delisted from the ranking. And thereafter, delisted from
Yes.
the Scopus now. Okay? So it's just mere university-based journal now. Okay? Of course, in my university, we treat
Okay.
it as a national. In my university treat it as a national journal. That is one of the Nigerian journal. Why? Because when you see an edition like this, you can be sure that if it is 6 publication, all the 6 will be Nigerians. So how international is that?
Wow. Oh my goodness, Prof. Thank you so much. This has really been an insightful session. There's sincerely, I knew interactive and information science, and an award-winning one at that. There's definitely going to be a lot to learn today. So, and this is just the beginning.
Thank God.
Everyone, share this video with your friends, invite your colleagues, and let them come on board. We still have a few more questions to ask Prof. Now, like I said, we are going
Thank
into
you.
the classroom, Prof. Um, if you
Okay.
were mandated today, let's say if Librarian Spotlight Africa had the power to
Yes.
confer on you all the resources, all the power in the world to redesign the LIS curricula across
Okay.
African universities today,
Okay.
what would you add in the LIS curricula? What would you
Okay.
remove? Or what would you emphasize to make the
Okay.
LIS profession to be future
Okay.
ready?
Okay. Very fantastic question. And I want to I pray that the people that the power that be are
Yes.
listening to what I want to say. So if I am asked to redesign curricula across African university, I will emphasize future readiness. I will emphasize contextual relevance, and I will emphasize global competitiveness.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you taking notes? So
Yes.
what am I going to add? What am I going to add? I will add stronger focus on data science. I will add artificial intelligence. I will add digital humanities. I will add open science. I will add digital preservation, cybersecurity, knowledge management, and policy advocacy. I will add soft skills like design thinking, entrepreneurship, and community engagement will also be central. Of course, cybersecurity is very, very important now. We are clamoring for a paperless society. That is, we want to be doing everything electronically, even in our library now. Are you with me?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm with you,
But the
Prof.
hackers are not but the hackers in their own world, they are not resting. They are strategizing on a daily basis, destroy, everything we are doing, destroying our data, destroying our information, destroying everything. But the question is, do we have the knowledge of how to secure our data? Do we have the knowledge of how to secure our information? Looking at the current curriculum in all the LIS schools in Nigeria, which of them include knowledge of cybersecurity or a course outline on cybersecurity or have a course unit on cybersecurity? None. I've searched through. I can't see any. So what will I remove? I will remove outdated, overly theoretical cataloging classification courses taught without digital integration. I will remove redundant paper-based modules, okay, that no longer reflect practice. And what will I emphasize? I will emphasize indigenous knowledge system, sustainable development, digital inclusion and innovation labs, where students solve real-world problems. And the goal of all of this will be to produce library and information science graduates that are technology savvy, that are knowledge leaders, that are innovators, and advocates that can shape African information future. Are we
Wow.
together? Okay.
Yes, we are.
So
Yes.
I will propose a future-ready LIS curriculum structure for African university, which will be designed to balance global innovation with African realities. So the
Amazing.
future-ready LIS curriculum framework will be in form of this. The program goal will be to produce LIS professionals who are digitally skilled, innovation-driven, and socially responsive, able to
Mm,
lead information services, research,
mm,
and policy across Africa in the digital age. So the core courses in terms of foundation will be in form of the following: foundation of library and information science, which will
wow.
involve history, philosophy, and verifying rules. Then
Yeah.
information organization and knowledge representation, which will
Yes.
include cataloging, metadata, ontologies, and digital first. Then
Okay.
thirdly, information retrieval and access. That will include search strategies, data Then I will include research methods in LIS, qualitative, quantitative, mixed method with emphasis on evidence-based practice. Then 5, information ethics, policy and governance, which include data privacy, copyright, freedom of information, AI ethics. Then indigenous knowledge system, which will involve collection, preservation, and digital integration of African knowledge. Then the digital and
Yes.
technology core courses will include digital library and repository, data science for LIS professionals, artificial intelligence and machine learning in LIS, cyber security and information security management in library and information science, blockchain and emerging technology for knowledge management, application in digital preservation and scholarly communication.
Mm.
What about in the area of applied practice and oriented courses? I will include knowledge management and innovation, community informatics and digital inclusion, open science and
Wow.
scholarly communication, instructional and information
Yes.
literacy pedagogy, then design, think, and user experience in information services. Okay. So the elective
Oh
that I will
my goodness.
introduce digital humanities and cultural heritage, health informatics and medical librarianship, business and corporate information services, record and archives management in the age of artificial intelligence, metaverse,
Oh my
virtual
goodness.
reality, augmented reality application in libraries, environmental and agricultural information system, and
Yes.
the practical and
My
experiential learning
goodness.
also are
My
listed. So
goodness.
what are the
My
skills that our students will get from this? Critical thinking and problem solving, digital literacy
exactly.
and coding basic, communication and
Mm.
advocacy, project management and leadership, policy
Mm.
engagement and entrepreneurship. And what is the program outcome? Of course, the graduates will be future ready information leaders,
Yes.
technologically competent, who are highly competent, who are rooted in African reality, indigenous knowledge, community informatics, then globally competitive, capable of working across academia, government, corporate, and international sectors. So those are the things that I will add if I'm given the opportunity, because that
Oh
is
my
where
goodness. Prof,
we are currently in
if
the
we give
field.
you the opportunity,
Yes,
the overhaul will be something else. I see
yes,
the
it's going to
comments
be
here. Somebody Yemisi says that would be a total overhaul of the LIS curriculum.
overhauling. Exactly,
And
complete
Adebayo
overhauling.
says there are so many comments over here, but I don't want to. Prof, in just less than 1 minute, I would like to
Okay,
ask, because there are some scholars who believe that who will not entirely agree with you, because introducing cybersecurity, machine learning, artificial intelligence, I've been in arguments with some scholars who feel that this is not what librarianship is. And
mm,
we should define whether we are IT professionals or whether we are librarians, because we seem to want to be steering off into IT, want to learn all types of trendy technologies. Some
okay,
people argue that this is not our responsibility. It should not
okay,
have any place in our curriculum. Rather, we should
okay,
focus on the foundation of library and the core of library and information science. So, Prof,
okay,
in less than 1 minute, please, what do you think
okay.
about this?
Honestly, it is only conservative librarians that will think in that direction, because
Okay.
this is no more library science. It is library and information science, we call it. And
Yes.
since we call it library and information science, it must marry that library, information, and then the science. So we cannot
Mhm.
limit ourselves only to library. Okay?
Mhm.
It's,
Thank
doing
you.
that is like we are going back to where we started, because it was
Okay.
library science, we call it.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
So
so
it's
much.
no more
Thank
library
you.
science. Okay,
Thank you.
so
So,
those who
thank
want
you.
that, let them specialize in pure librarianship and let them be called library educator. So because they
Okay.
can't work anywhere other than library. But for those of us who specializes in library and information science, you know, our opportunity is unlimited. You get it, and that is the reason why we have to incorporate all of these trending courses into the discipline, so that
Yes.
we can be well fitted in every
Yeah.
organization. Yes,
Yeah, and relevant. Thank you.
we
Thank you
are
so much,
relevant.
Prof.
Very good.
Just on a lighter note, Madam Shade
Yes,
here is saying that the same curriculum used to teach her over 20 years ago is still
mm.
what is being used today. By the
That is
way,
why
let's go to our next question.
we are not
Any
progressing.
doc?
We are
Let's
stagnating on the spot. Eh.
We are
We
out
are
of
matching
time
the
right
clock.
now, and there is someone behind the stage who is here to surprise you. We'll soon be declaring Professor Adeyinka as the Librarian of the Month. And Prof, this person is asking a
Yes.
question that we had planned to ask you today. It says,
Okay.
mention other credible sources of publication librarians can publish. You know, we criticized platforms like LPP. So I would like to know how important is publishing in reputable journals, and what suggestions can you give as someone who've had experiences in from UNESA to Coursera to Commonwealth scholarships. Please share with us what your recommendations are. Some of these
Okay,
platforms that we
very quickly because of our time. Publishing in reputable journal is absolutely vital for African list scholar. It is not just about personal academic progression, but it's also about feasibility. It is about credibility. It is about influence. Okay? Too often, we
yeah.
see African perspective. They are underrepresented in global scholarship. When you search literature, you will see, you will see so many literature from US, from UK, from Spain, from, like 200 before you can spot anyone from Africa. And that is not good enough. Okay? So
Yeah.
publishing a well-regarded journal ensure that our research inform international debate while also shaping local practice and policy. So my advice to aspiring scholar is threefold. One, quality over quantity. Don't rush into publishing for the sake of numbers. Ground
Mm-hmm.
your work in solid method, originality, and relevance. Editors and reviewers like me, we follow rigors. We follow rigorous, arguments, rigorous, and standard quality content. Okay, and when we see that, we won't hesitate to recommend for publication. Okay, that is one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, engage with global and local conversations. Frame your work so it speaks both to African realities like digital inclusion, indigenous knowledge, infrastructural challenges, and to wider theoretical and technical workshops and co-author with peers across institutions or even countries. Collaborative research often has stronger impact. Of course, on mentorship, if you go online and just Google Tella Adeyinka 2025, you will come across this paper I wrote, Mentoring the Mentee, an explorative analysis of postgraduate students' supervision style of novice scholar and motivation towards scholarly publication.
Wow.
It was published in Mentoring and Tutoring Partnership in Learning,
Mm-hmm.
volume 33, issue 4, pages 427 to 455. It's a Francis and Taylor quartile 2 journal. Go online, you will see it. So publishing in top journal is not an end in itself, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a pathway to imparting teaching, to imparting policy and professional practice. Something the African list community desperately need. We need it, whether we like it or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
We need to publish paper that will impart teaching, that will impart policy, that will impart professional
All
practice.
right.
Not just publishing for publishing or publishing to get
Thank
promotion.
you.
It should be more
Thank you
than
so
that.
much.
Of course, when you publish quality papers, it will add to your institutional ranking.
Yeah.
Why is it that universities in South Africa are rated better than universities in Nigeria? So for the quality of our research, that's the truth.
Mhm.
But a bitter truth
Yeah.
that people will not want to listen to. Publishing 100 papers
Yes.
in LPP will not lead anybody to anywhere. Are you with me,
Mhm.
Sylvester? Publishing
Yes, I'm with
100
you,
or
Prof.
1 million LPP will not lead any institution to anywhere. Target first generation global leading list journal of documentation, library quarterly, and research libraries, information processing and management, online information retriever, library high tech, ASLI journal of information management, scientometrics, information research, IFLA journal, Libri, International Information and Library Review, African Journal
Oh,
of Library Archives and Information Science, South African Journal of Library and Information
thank
Science,
you.
Information Development, Innovation, Journal of Appropriate Librarianship and Information Work in Southern Africa, Library Philosophy of and Practice, of course, which is at the lower help, for the
Thank
research
you so
beginners.
much. Thank you, Prof.
Regularly.
Thank you for sharing those wonderful recommendations. I believe you've taken all the questions.
And many
If anyone has a question,
more.
Prof, you said what? Hello? I said thank you so much. If anyone has a question, please put it in the comment section. We are now wrapping up the session for today. Everyone is saying they've been inspired. But I'm going to take one question from John Adebayo. But Prof,
Okay.
I'm going to add our last question for today with
Okay.
Adebayo's question.
Okay.
Adebayo's question is on the screen. But I would like to first find out, how do you personally mentor the next generation of scholars, next generation of researchers? How do you personally, the efforts you put in place to mentor people? Because someone is right here now and the person has just asked a question. The person
Okay.
says, Prof, are you open for mentorship?
Oh
So
my God.
this question will help. Meanwhile, Adebayo's question says, Prof, please, what are your experiences collaborating or doing research with people? So these are the
Okay.
last questions, and then we'll invite the surprise guest.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me start on the note of, referring to that paper I mentioned now of mentorship, which I just published. It's a 2025 paper. It's online. How did I collect that data? I collected the data from my students, the students that I've supervised at the postgraduate level, my master's and PhD students. They are my respondents for that paper. And what is the rationale behind that? Is to mentor them. Okay, because after publishing them, each and every one of them now has a copy. They have a copy of that paper. So mentorship is the backbone of academia. It helps young
Mm,
scholar to navigate research, publishing and career choices, while also instilling values of rigor and integrity, because that is the essence of mentorship. You instill values in the mentee, you instill rigor in the mentee, you let them know how important is academic integrity. So beyond transferring skills to them, it's about modeling curiosity, modeling resilience, modeling purpose. Okay? You
yes, sir.
have to gear them towards being curious, being resilient, and being purpose driven. Personally, I've mentored so many people. I mentor through co-authoring paper with my mentee, guiding grant proposal writing, peer reviewing drafts, and connecting mentee with international networks. I told you initially that I have a network, the Likes Mind Info Research Network, and
Yeah,
the Likes Mind Info Africa Info Research Networks. That is my
network.
networks, and I've
Yeah,
mentioned, my associates, all over the African countries. Okay,
yes.
there is no country that is not represented in that network. Okay,
Wow.
so who
Yeah.
are who are who are the members? They are my mentees, they are my colleagues, my research associates. We are mentoring ourselves, in that network. And anybody that want to join, honestly, it is very, very open. Just contact me or contact my boy Yusuf Ajani, and we will enroll you on that platform.
Wow.
Monthly
Wow.
or
Everybody,
monthly,
you've heard from that.
we do invite people, to talk to us, maybe on research.
Thank you. So I think we're having, is it my network? I'm not sure. Or if this is a network issue from Prof's end. If you think it's from Prof's end, you can just put a comment. I can hear Prof clearly now. Hello, can you hear me or can you hear Prof? Okay, we miss Prof. So now we are going to be wrapping up this session now, and
Of
hello.
course, anytime I attend NLA conference, people hardly allow me to concentrate on the conference. You will see, I want to see you, sir. I want to see you. I want to see you. The last one in Edo, I hardly concentrate on the program because people are just excusing me out to ask one question or the other. It's like that. Doing that, you are mentoring people, you are showing people the way. Of course, some people are tired of following people who doesn't know road. They want to follow those who know road, who can put them through,
Exactly.
for them to be able to achieve and also impact, the life of others. That is how it should be.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody in the comment section,
Yes.
please help me clap and celebrate Prof in appreciation for this wonderful information. Right now, Prof, we are going to be
Yes, sir.
inviting a special guest that will come.
Okay. Wow.
Um, it's not someone
Special
that
guest indeed.
you were expecting. He or she
Hey.
here to surprise you because of the
Wow.
impact you've had on him or her. So, but
Hey.
before that,
I can't wait to.
but before that, on a light mode, let me ask you, Prof, is it true that professors do not have
Yes,
a
sir.
social life? When you want to relax,
Ah,
or switch
yes.
off from research and writing, what's your go-to activity? Just one thing or two things that you do for social. What's that thing that you do?
It's not all about reading.
Okay.
It's not all about researching.
Okay.
It's not all about you listening to news.
Mm.
Not at all.
Okay.
I watch and play football.
Woo!
I'm a footballer.
Wow.
In fact, when I was in secondary school, I was a goalkeeper,
Oh my
for my school.
goodness.
Yes, I I was a goalkeeper. So I play football. And I still play football and watch football till this moment. In fact, some three
Wow.
days ago, I mounted on my status, pictures of a football match that we play when I was in South Africa, 2019, 2020, 21, with a club
Hmm.
that we invited from town. Okay. So I mounted and people
Yes.
started calling me, this man, you play football? I said, yes, very well. Check that number 14. Check the skill, check everything. So I play football, I watch football. It's not all about research. It's not all about reading. It's not all about listening to the news. Publishing papers. But
Okay.
at my leisure,
Okay.
I do engage myself in this. Of course, I'm a child of God. I believe so much in the efficacy and power of God. So
Okay.
with Him, all things are possible. That is my belief. Eh?
Okay. So thank you so much. I was thinking that professors don't have time for any other thing, but thank you for that clarification. Now I know that
Yeah.
professors also have time to catch some fun, and it's not just about book. Thank you so much. So, Prof, at this moment,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to make welcome the surprise guest for tonight. He's none other
Okay.
but the person we see now on the screen, whose name
I want to
is
know. I want to.
Bolaji Oladokun. Okay,
Ah,
so Bolaji Oladokun.
VJ. Yeah.
Good evening, Prof.
Good evening.
So
Good evening. Good evening. I am very very
Good evening,
glad to
Prof.
see you. Of course, Sylvester. This is one of my mentee, and if you have been following this guy, you will discover that the guy is going places. Look at where he's publishing high profile journals. Q1, Q2 in this year alone. Go and track it. You know, there is no lie anywhere, nowhere you can hide. Just go online and confirm what I'm talking about. That is the
exactly,
reality
wow,
of the
and
moment.
that was why we said we
Thank you,
must
Prof.
bring one of your mentees online today. And
Thank you.
over
Thank
to
you very
you,
much.
Mr. Bolaji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Prof.
Good evening,
It's a
Bolaji.
it's a big privilege this evening to be here. To be here, I am happy to have listened to you all through, and the conversations, the comments, your recommendations have been awesome. We want to
We
thank you
thank God.
again, sir, for what you have been doing to scholarship and research. And it is on this note that
Thank you.
I have been invited to present this very um, prestigious award to you, in honor of your very special achievements and exceptional contributions to education, community development, and libraries. On this day,
Thank you.
we present to you this award, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
You.
very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, thank you.
much.
I'm sincerely grateful.
Congratulations, Prof.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. I'm
Congratulations,
very
Prof.
grateful. And on this
Thank you
note,
so
I
much.
want to appreciate
You're welcome,
Liberian
Prof.
Spotlight
So,
Africa for this
yeah,
wonderful gesture. It has been a
thank you.
wonderful moment of interaction. I'm very, very delighted. I'm very, very happy. And I say, long live Liberian Spotlight Africa. Long live Nigerian
Thank
Library.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been a really wonderful moment with you. Prof, I want you to know that there are so many people that are watching right now.
Yes,
There are
sir.
comments. Time will not permit me to go through all of them again. They all celebrate you.
All
They
of
all
them.
appreciate you. You can come
Hmm.
back after now to watch the video. The video is available. The recording is there. You will see all their beautiful comments. They
Okay.
celebrate you and they honor you. Once again,
Okay.
I want to say thank you so much for finding out time to do
Okay.
this, because what you
Okay.
have done today
Okay.
is what mentorship is all about. Your wealth of information and experience you have come here to pour on not just those of us who are watching here today, a lot of other people will come across this
It's all
video
about.
many years to
Yes.
come.
Hmm.
Yes. So I want to say, on behalf of the Librarian Spotlight Africa team, we would say thank you. And
Exactly.
thank you, Bolaji. Let me unmute your mic. Bolaji, we want to say good night
Yes.
now. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for being here,
Thank
Bolaji.
you.
Thank you for the great work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prof.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank
by
you.
the way, let me
Thank you.
just drop this
Thank
piece
you.
of
Good day.
announcement. Okay, Prof, do you want to say something?
If you can finish what you want
Okay.
to say before I.
Let me
I
just Okay, yes. Let me just say this, then I'll hand over to you. Let me just drop
okay.
this piece of announcement to us. Um, Bolaji is going to be hosting a research masterclass where
Okay.
he wants to teach everything that he knows. In the next week, the event is holding next week. It's a 3-day research class,
That is good.
and Bolaji will be, and a couple
I'm
of
coming.
other scholars, as we can see on the screen. A lot of them are coming together to teach researchers what publication is all about in practical. And I want to recommend to us to look out for that event and try to participate. Um, as it's is going to be the link is going to be shared with us. So thank you. That's all the information from
Okay.
me. If Prof has one more comment to
Okay.
make, immediately he's through with that comment,
Okay.
we will say good night.
Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I want to appreciate the Liberian Spotlight Africa for extending this invitation to me. It has been a wonderful moment of interaction. Honestly, I enjoy myself and I have learned from the discussion of tonight because I said I won't engage myself in anything that is unprofitable to me. In the process tonight, I have
Yeah,
learned a lot of things. And on this note,
yeah.
I want to encourage the emerging list scholar that they should be
Mm,
focused, they should be
yes.
resilient, and they should not allow the noise in the market to distract them. There are noises in the market. There are noises here and there. And those noisemakers, they are nothing but distractors. So we should not allow them to distract us. And that is why we need to be focused on what we are doing. You will be criticized, which paper is he publishing? Okay, which lecture is he organizing? They will criticize you. But don't mind them. They are just noisemaker.
Mm,
Be focus and continue. Keep pushing, keep pressing, keep progressing, and you will make it. You will get there. I can see all of us getting places, going places, and we will get there by the
Amen.
special grace of God.
Amen.
I believe in God because
Amen.
I fear Him. It's only through Him we can achieve, and we will all achieve in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. God bless you.
Thank you. So, on behalf of the Librarian Spotlight crew, we're saying goodbye. Some
Bye.
people are asking for the professor's link to his mentorship group. I'll
Okay.
get it from Bolaji, I guess, and
Bolaji,
we'll see.
exactly. Get it from
Yeah, we'll see how
Bolaji.
to share it with
Yes.
others. So
All
you
right.
can reach out to me after now, and I'll
All
share
right.
that with you. Don't forget to subscribe
Okay.
to this channel if you like what we are doing. Support us. This is
That's
how we
fantastic.
grow. And I say good
Thank you.
night, everybody. Good night,
Thank you.
and
Good
see you
night.
in our next edition.
Night. All right. Bye.